All right, so I'm going to talk to you guys real quick about spray hose, what maybe not to use, what to use. In fact, I'm still guessing today because the products that I really like, they took off the market. And you know what, Graco? Why did you stop making Blue Max 1? You guys are a bunch of dicks. Okay, Blue Max 1 was the best hose, the strongest hose ever. And why did you stop making 5-foot whips? If you're listening, start making this stuff again. There was your best products, and you guys started making this other garbage that isn't nearly as good now. So a lot of you guys are using this Blue Max 2, and honestly, it's probably one of the best lines on the market right now, other than if you can find an old Blue Max 1. Okay. And I'm going to tell you why that I like the Blue Max 1, even though, yeah, it's stiffer. Yeah, it's harder to roll up. Yeah, it doesn't go around corners as good. Yeah, it knots up. Okay, I know all those things, okay? This stuff doesn't as much. But this is the one big issue I have with this stuff, is it gets caught in corners, and it is not as strong as the old Blue Max 1, and it blows up more often. You know, when it can kink, and the line kink, this line likes to kink. It likes to, you can pop a spray line, and if you pop one spray line, all it takes is one time. In today's market with how cheap, labor is, there's just too many painters out there. There's too many guys that can just pick up a brush and say, I'm a painter. They don't have any experience at all, and then it makes everybody else look bad. So there's just too many of them. So as much as tight as labor is, for a lot of you guys, for me, I'm in a totally different market now. I don't have to compete. But for most of you guys that are production painters and custom painters in houses, I really feel for you guys. It's not right. There's just too many people that just pick up a brush and say I'm a painter, and they have no experience. And the people pay them. They'll hire them or whatever because it's cheap. So that's what drives the market down. So anyway, the Blue Max 2, okay, is probably one of the best lines on the market right now. And this is what I don't like about it compared to the old Blue Max 1. Is like I said, it kinks, it breaks, they break more often. I don't think I ever broke a Blue Max 1 line. I remember we did break something. I don't think it was a Blue Max 1 inside Montgomery Ward's back years ago when we were painting inside there, and wiped out like 2 or 3 couches. Just sprayed up in the air. It was right here near the thing, it was not a good day. And normally, we don't have that happen. We didn't have that happen very rarely because we always replaced our spray line about every 2 to 3 years. So if you're using Blue Max 2, you probably ought to follow that rule. Replace it every couple of years. Don't wait till it blows up. If it blows up, it's going to be so expensive that it's going to run you out of business probably in somebody's house. And it's not going to be a good day. So you won't want to replace it more often. But just remember, that the reason the old stuff I thought was better is because it very, very, very rarely ever broke. Like if you drive over this with a forklift, probably going to break, or a scissor lift, probably going to break it. This stuff, it would just smash it and it'd be no good. But usually it would survive and not blow up right in the middle of a warehouse. But anyway, we did have a couple of these go out, and I can't remember the exact situations, but it was actually this hose is actually really good if you're doing like offices, like if you're doing brand new construction offices and you just want to run through and just spray like hell. This is what I would use. I would use the Blue Max 2, and it goes around corners. It goes through the, you can just walk through an office and it just follows you right along real easy. That's probably what I would use in there if I was doing that. But in the old days, the other stuff was just better. So anyway, that's it for the spray line. The other stuff that I like to use, and which I wish they still had, and we've been looking for them. Can't find a 5-foot Graco whip anywhere. They used to make a 5-foot whip. It was nice because it would be your spray line. the weight of your spray line would be mostly on the ground. Okay, because the heavy part of your line is the thicker part of your line. So the longer the whip you had, the better control you had with your, and you wouldn't be carrying around all that weight. So now all they have is the 3-foot whip, which is a bummer, but that's all you're going to be able to get. And don't use anything but the Graco whips. Don't watch out for those eBay ones, the cheap ones. Had a bunch of those fail. Wouldn't go that way. Wouldn't use the inexpensive one. Watch out for the orange hose from Titan. Those don't usually last very long. I've had those things blow up. Or from Wagner, they are, I guess, Wagner. Had those things go out many times. So if you stick with the Graco, it's usually the better line. I use the Graco line, use the Graco gun. In fact, I just bought myself another. I always have 2 of these on my truck because if you blow a packing, or there's a little wire inside here that blows out. If the little wire breaks, you know, or you even have just a second packing set. I usually have another packing set and another gun because sometimes I don't have time to replace the packings. When you're in a storefront, man, you've got to get out of there quick. They don't want you there. You know, I was in a mall the other day, and 10 o'clock, you got to be out of here, and outside the mall. So anyway, that's how that works. Now, the other thing that I don't use, again, you know, a lot of guys go, man, I use a swivel between my line and my gun, and I use a swivel. Okay, I've had those things break. Okay, that they often fail, and when they fail one time, the same thing as a spray line. When that thing fails once, it's going to cost you so much money that you're going to go, oh boy, do I really need this thing? The other thing is, if you have a swivel right near your gun, you're carrying more weight, so you're swinging more weight around. It's going to give you more fatigue. Not a good idea for the long run. You know, it's a double-edged sword. It's a little easier or whatever. I don't find it much easier at the gun. It doesn't really help much. It just, you know, can make your gun turn or whatever. I just twist my gun around and make sure I'm going straight, and then I just start spraying. So you get used to that, not having that swivel to spin, you know, your gun around, because those things actually fail more often. So like I said, one failure and it's going to cost you more money than what it was worth to do. So anyway, just a couple little things about spray line that, you know, a little of my pet peeves and stuff I'm a little bit pissed off about. You know, hopefully maybe the Graco guys will watch this and go, hey man, maybe we should start making Blue Max 1 again. You know, it's a nice stiff hose, lasted forever, lasted a long time. Maybe that's probably why they went with this crap, so that you have to replace them more often. No, they get, and their whole thing is, you know, they're big salesmen, you know, at the shows and stuff. They're like, hey man, you know, it's because it does this and it does that and it goes around corners, and yeah. And I go, yeah, and it blows up. It blows up. Like, oh no, it's got better strength. No, I think this stuff has steel braided, that has nylon braided. Sorry guys, it blows up. Well, really what it is they don't want to tell you that it costs, you know, 30% more to make or something, you know, and that's what the deal is. They're making this cheaper garbage. You know, that's what all the paint companies do. They've been doing that to us for years. They make cheaper stuff and they try and upsell it like it's better. So it pisses me off. All right, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. I think I've covered most of the stuff on spray lines, and paint some shit, make it look good. Talk to you in the next video.